Hello again, guys. This is Mike again, and today we are going to talk about, can my computer or laptop run this application? Now, this is a question that's being uh, asked a lot, so we're going to talk about this right now. Um, Mainly, there are things that you can check uh, before, of course, checking out if your if the application would actually work on your computer. So let me give you some examples of those things that you can check. So for this one, I got two. Basically, this is mainly for games. One is for games and one is for phone apps. So you can check the compatibility of the application to your phone. Now, mainly what you need to check first is the specifications of your phone. So how would you know if the requirements is met by your device? So I have a screenshot here of my phone. This is an old one, basically very old one. So if you have an Android phone, you can check about phone, but this is like for Android version 4.2.1. So it's like Jelly Bean or something. Um, so mainly that's just about it. This is a Cherry Mobile Blaze 2.0, and I bought this like around 2014, December 2014. So it's a pretty old one. Um, Now, since we already know the operating system or the Android version of our phone, then we can check if the application that we want to use is basically able or will be able to run on this Android version. So to check that, I have here, so this is what we're going to check for phone apps. That's phone-debate.com. So here we go. And then once you're here, you go to apps. So here you can check all the applications that was developed for that application. So I'll just use WeChat as an example. So WeChat phone app, the version of this application is 4.5.1. So that's the version of the app, okay? Not the operating system that's a requirement. So free version is available. So it runs on Android, BlackBerry, iOS, and Windows. Okay. So if we would check the WeChat phone requirements, as you can see, we have Android 2.1. So basically, if we would compare that to what I have here, I have 4.2.1. So basically, this is a very old Android version. So WeChat would still run on my Android phone. So that's how you check it. Same thing with the the RAM here. So not really that important, but of course, I've already explained this on one of my videos how important RAM is. So it can still run, but it may be pretty laggy when you are using it if you have below 1 gigabyte of RAM on your phone. So that's basically how we check. And sometimes if you have an Android phone, if you go to the uh, what you call this, the App Store, okay, App Store uh, for Android, there would be a note already on the application itself because they would normally detect the uh, the specifications of your phone, so it would already tell you that if your phone is not compatible. So that's for Android, but you can also check your iOS. I'm not really too familiar with it at the moment because basically I don't have one. So you can just check maybe like something like about phone, something like that. Okay, so check the version of your iOS, check the RAM, and then you're good to go. So you'll know if it's compatible. Now, what about um, Windows applications? So this would be mostly for games, but you can just Google, for example, if you need to check the system requirements for Photoshop, so you can just Google it. There you go. So basically, you'll be just Googling something is really easy, and then you'll be able to see the system requirements for that application. So as you can see, we have Intel Pentium 4. Even Pentium 4 can run Photoshop. Okay, but of course that still depends on the version. So some newer versions would actually have a lot uh, bigger requirements, but yeah, it can still run an Intel Pentium in the Athlon 64, and it would require you 1 GB of RAM. Of course, installation. This is also important when you're installing applications. So make sure you have sufficient storage, free space for your computer. So 1 GB of RAM. This is the basically the system requirement. So once you hit this is the minimum. You can still run it. So what about, let's say, games? So let's just go for something here. So let's say Battlefield 1. So I'm not going to basically test my system. So what I've done here is I just chose a game, and then we'll just check the system requirements. So we have two here. One is minimum requirements and recommended requirements. So basically, even if you have the minimum requirements, so uh, if you have the minimum, basically you won't be able to like max out all the settings for the game. Just most probably medium, or that would really depend on the graphics card that you've installed. So what we have here is for the minimum requirements, we have Core i5 6600K, 6350 AMD, and we also have a requirement of 8 GB of RAM. So this is basically how you check if the program or application uh, is compatible with your computer. Otherwise, if you don't meet the minimum requirements, you can still sometimes install, but you won't be able to uh, run the game. Like, there would be bugs and some sort of issues that you'll be encountering if you don't meet minimum requirements. Okay, guys, I think that's it. So if you would ask questions like how do I check, just go to these websites and check if your device is compatible. So please don't forget to like my page, Waway Tech Ph, and soon please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks again.